All right, 7:53, day 114. Watch says 56.6 degrees. It's the 25th of July, 25. Conveniently, 25 is my favorite number, so that works just fine. Just leaving Cuddy's, getting back on trail. Gosh, sorry, I should have put the windscreen on. And it is like generally loud and unpleasant, but this is gonna be my stock in life for the next couple hours. Gotta get to Wilson, gotta go beyond Wilson, and then I think it's called Phillips Pass Trailhead or something like that. And boy, from there we're gonna head into the Tetons, from the Tetons into Yellowstone, from Yellowstone off to Big Sky, take a bus up to Bozeman, come back to Big Sky, go through Spanish Peaks, and then figure out what in the world to do from there. But I reckon it'll all end in Canada. So man, what a great stop. What a great stop. Again, Jackson, not really my favorite town of all time. Not bad, just very kind of gauche, touristy, and just kind of felt like a bit of a money grab, to be honest. But not a bad town, just I don't know if I feel any particular need to return. But yeah, but aside from the town itself, I mean, great seeing my folks, great having a bed for a few nights, several nights, and got a lot of chores done. Again, as I kind of just referenced, plotted out the next, I don't know what, 2 weeks or so on trail. Since I'm no longer on the CDT, I no longer have a super established course to get me to where I'm going. So I had to plot everything out. Called Yellowstone, booked up my campsites in the park, as you require permitting for camping in Yellowstone, and then figured out how to get to Big Sky, figured out how to get to Bozeman from Big Sky, found a cheap hostel in Bozeman that I'll be staying in, all this sort of stuff, just a lot of odds and ends, and then random typical trail stuff too. So, you know, patched up my pack liner, the small tear I found in my pack liner. Mom was kind enough to sew up my water bottle holster here. So just drew a couple of simple stitches in there just to kind of keep the thing moving. I mean, all sorts of odds and ends. I don't even remember half of it at this point, but it all got done, which I'm super thankful for. So anyways, that is what it is. We're heading this way off towards Wilson, as I said, and then this way off towards the Tetons, which should be great. Yeah, so we'll get hiking, and I'll talk to you guys later. Alright y'all, 12:55, 75.5 degrees. It's a lot of fives. Just finished up lunch over at RPK3. RPK3 is like a restaurant, I guess, restaurant bar sort of thing here in Teton Village. So I think I'd mentioned this morning about how I was going to take the Phillips Pass Trail to get up to where I'm going today. But I was looking at my maps on that whatever 10-mile road walk or whatever, and looked like there was actually a path that was a few miles shorter and would take me by restaurants in Teton Village. So decided that's kind of a win-win. Jeez, I'm not sure where in the world to go right now. Man, these ski resort towns are really, really tricky to navigate. Yeah, anyway, so I sat down, got some food, got a couple beverages, and I was looking at my map, I was looking at my distance. I was looking at how much, well, I wasn't looking at how much distance I had remaining on the day. And I was just kind of taking it easy. And then finally, when I did, what the heck? No hiking in the bike park. All right, well, I have to figure this out. When I did finally figure out what distance I had remaining, I realized it was like a good 8 miles further than I thought I had. So while I had been sitting there relaxing, I should have been hiking. So shame on me. And now perhaps shame on me doubly, because I may have just hiked myself into a place where I can hike no longer, but we'll kind of figure it out. I should say these next, whatever, 10 days, 9 or 10 days or whatever, basically until I get to Big Sky, I'm on a pretty tight time schedule, which isn't usually the way I like to hike at all. I like to be able to hike kind of at my own speed, and whatever a day is, a day is. But on account of the permitting in Yellowstone and everything else, I kind of really have to make my benchmarks these next 10 days or so, 9 or 10 days. So now I got to figure this out and figure out where I can hike, or if I can hike, or how this is all going to work. But anyways, just wanted to give it a midday check-in, and hopefully I'll be able to negotiate this and keep moving, but we'll see. All right, very good evening, folks. It is 7:45 p.m. and 64.2 degrees. Super, super, super pleasant. Today was a bit of a mixed up day, a very good day, very, very good day. But a little bit back and forth. I kind of confused myself a few times today. But I am super happy to be camping in, well, technically not Grand Tetons National Park. Technically I am in the Jedediah Smith Wilderness. So this path that I'm taking, which is more or less the Teton Crest Trail, kind of bobs and weaves a little bit between Grand Teton National Park and this Jedediah Wilderness. So Jedediah Smith Wilderness, excuse me. I didn't really explain much of this about this jump, this interesting sort of mixed up jump. So basically, when I was back in Jackson with my folks, I bought a couple paper, well, they bought me a couple of paper National Geographic maps, and I sat down and really plotted out this next nine or 10 days without, of course, any knowledge when I embarked down that endeavor that it would be 9 or 10 days. Basically, before I started this trail, I knew I really wanted to hit Grand Tetons, and I knew I really, really wanted to hit as much of Yellowstone as I could reasonably. So I plotted out a path that's going to take me through Grand Tetons and then up into the south side of Yellowstone and then up through the northwest of Yellowstone. I think I might have explained this on a previous video. But what I hadn't realized is that much like Yellowstone, Grand Teton National Park also requires permits for camping. And I'm not really one to break those sorts of rules. I know some people, well, people hike their own hike out here for sure. But that's not really my bag. I would rather get a permit if I need a permit, especially if it's relatively easy, as it was for Yellowstone with the super, super helpful, friendly rangers. And for Grand Teton, it just kind of looked like there would be a way I'd be able to design my hike so that I'd be camping technically outside the boundary of the park. So for the 2 or 3 nights that I'm kind of hiking through, generally the Grand Teton National Park area. So that's what I'm doing. I'm in Jedediah Smith Wilderness, as I said. And then tomorrow night, I don't know if I'm back in technically the Jedediah Smith Wilderness or if I'm in some other sort of adjacent parkland or wilderness or forest area. But I will be again tomorrow outside of the bounds of Grand Teton National Park, which is convenient. Be camping on a land where I don't need a permit, so that's fine. Yeah. So today I had breakfast with the folks over at the Virginian in Jackson, which I would definitely recommend. A great little restaurant. If you're ever in Jackson, check out the Virginian. Great restaurant, great breakfast. And then they dropped me back where I finished my hike on day 112, I guess. And then I hiked from there. So the plan had been to go over to, I don't even remember what it's called now. Some pass, basically road walk through Wilson and then get onto a trail again after Wilson and hike, through the woods on a trail and stuff like that to get to where I am. Well, not to get to where I am. To get to about 6 miles back from where I am. And early on that road walk, I determined that there was a shortcut I could take, and it would just be a longer road walk, which is a bummer, but it would have a restaurant and everything. So that's when I stopped over at Teton Village, got a couple beverages, got a snack, a Caesar salad and some fries or something, and hung out for almost 2 hours, just kind of hanging out because I thought I only had like 8 miles left on the day. Well, I checked my phone again, and it looked like I had like 16 miles on the day. So that kind of put me into a bit of a hurried state at that point, because as I mentioned, I really need to hit all my benchmarks on this jump so that I can make the reservations or the permit camping reservations that I have at Yellowstone. So I quickly paid up, started hiking. Well, it turned out that it wasn't 16 miles, that it was more like 8 miles to get to where I had originally planned. So. But then when I got there, like, it was so early, it was like 5 o'clock. And then it looked like tomorrow was going to be a long day with a lot of elevation shift and a little bit of off-trail activity. So I just kind of decided I would push a little bit, and so where I had initially planned to camp tonight, was outside of Teton National Park. And by passing that initial camp spot, I crossed back into Teton National Park, crossed across, I think it's called like Death Shelf or something like that, which is really, really cool. Death Shelf or Death Canyon Shelf or something. And then now I've crossed back out of Teton National Park, Grand Teton National Park, and I'm camping, as I say, in Jedediah Smith. What this means is I've shaved 6 miles or something like that off of tomorrow, which is great because today's a beautiful day and who knows what tomorrow will be. And if I can achieve the same goal, then all just as well. This is so much of a long nightly wrap. But anyways, so that's kind of where we're at. I definitely have to hit my benchmarks these next 8 or 9 days or whatever it is. Because failing to do so means that all of my camping permits in Yellowstone will be compromised, and potentially, if I can't make them, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. So I really need to be deliberate about where and how and when I hike and stuff these next week plus. But it should be great. I mean, I tried to set myself reasonable, achievable goals. So, we'll kind of see how we go. It was a great day. It was great hanging out with my folks. Really, really great. I really appreciate them coming out. It was just great to have their support, and it's great to be able to see them and spend some time with them and just kind of hang out, and that really means a lot to me. So I really appreciate them coming out. Couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it without all the support of the people in my life. I know you guys only really meet me on these videos, but man, the wife, the parents, the sister, the rest of the family, all my friends, my employer, everyone is super duper. And truly all the people who watch these videos, I couldn't be more appreciative of your interest and comments and stuff like that too. I just spent some time replying to all of you who, I didn't get time to reply to everyone, but I replied to a bunch of folks who responded to my call to action on my day 100 video. And I really appreciate you guys kind of posting a little bit about yourselves and stuff. That's really cool, and I appreciate it. So, yeah, man, just feeling super gracious tonight. Super appreciative. I mean, I'm not a super religious person, but I can't really think of another word that more accurately describes my feeling aside from blessed. I just feel blessed. So, with that, I'm gonna turn in, start processing video, and. Man, yeah, so I was planning on going another 0.7 miles tonight, but there's this wonderful little hangout of pines right here, and this nice sort of established campsite in here, and it just looked so comfy. It just looked so comfy, so I had to stop. I mean, who cares about 0.7 miles tonight or tomorrow? I don't really care about that, but this is just a great little camp spot, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and make use of it, and I will definitely check in with you all tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good night.